Hi, we're a band called Last Man in Space. Here we've got Luke Wooden, who is our guitarist, Eli Cohen, our drummer, and Silas Rogers, our bassist. I'm Alex Pane, I do vocals, and I sing. I mean,
Okay, our first question is how do we get the name of our band? That was actually
funny story there.
It's a funny story.
Not very funny.
I came up with it when the Columbia was coming back from its last mission, and I saw Stephen Colbert about it, and he said
You
the
saw
phrase.
Stephen Colbert to
I
talk
saw
about it.
Stephen Colbert, and he said the phrase "last man in space," and I thought it was a cool idea. We actually adopted the name more like 30 seconds
30
before.
seconds before we were on stage where we had to announce it. We've done that before.
Interviews,
but we kind of liked the name because it has I think it's a cool name because it kind of has a feeling of loneliness, desolation, but at the same time it's space, so it's fun,
and exciting,
and awesome and exciting,
and something that the young people of this nation want to research.
Our favorite artists, we should probably just go down the line on this one.
Yep. Take two. Alright, my favorite artist would have to be Radiohead, just because of their musicality and just they're really good. Yeah.
You.
I would have to say Radiohead as well. Just their combination of all their tastes is actually something that I think we all collectively aspire to achieve, and they create really good and interesting music, and that's, I think, something everyone wants to achieve.
Yeah, my favorite artist is probably U2. Why?
Well, I'm a big fan of traditional music, and as in traditional fiddle music, which is kind of weird because I play in this band.
We're in a fiddle group together,
but,
me and Silas.
I like Bela Fleck and Victor Wooten, one of my big bass idols.
Yeah.
Did I miss it?
And I think that's one of the things that's, I think, kind of interesting about us is that, and that kind of has a lot to do with the music that we play, is that we all have very different taste in music. I mean, Luke here is very much into post-rock.
Yeah.
I'm very, very deep into the dark corners of electronic music. Eli listens to you too, and Silas is doing his own thing with fiddling,
traditional
fiddle music. So the combination of it kind of turns out to be something that is interesting because it comes from a lot of directions. It's kind of the culmination of a lot of things that don't very often come together. And I feel that had prog rock not been invented, and had it not been done before, we would have been the first prog band, but only for a very short amount of time, because we're very schizophrenic with our influences, and we've all got these strong polar directions that I think coming together make interesting music, if nothing else.
The next question is how did we learn to play our instruments, and do we play more than one? You first.
Me? Well, I play the guitar, and I pretend to play the violin in our orchestra, which I kind of can a little bit.
I've got a lot of things going on. I started out when I was like 5 or 6 playing the piano, and I was actually really good at it, and then I stopped playing it. But I think some of that knowledge has been retained, so I just pick up an instrument, and I mean, I can't play it, but
He can pretend.
I can make notes come out.
Oh, by the way,
his
parents, both his parents are professional pianists.
Yeah.
So.
I might have a little something to do with it.
He's got big pianos to fill.
And I've got and I started singing about 2 years ago, and that was actually something new that kind of was fun and new.
Well, I've been playing drums pretty much since I was born. That sounds really pretentious, but it's true. And I only got a drum set when I was in like 7th grade, somewhere before 7th grade. And then I learned to play it with my hands.
Well, I started playing classical music when I was 5 years old on the violin, and I kept doing that until I was about. I still kind of do classical music, but not as much anymore. I transitioned into mainly traditional fiddle music, and on the side, which is kind of weird, bass. But Like the strings are strung backwards, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Not really, but a little bit.
It doesn't make good sense,
You're also
but it
like
makes some
five
kind of
octaves
sense.
lower.
And also I play guitar. Not as much as, but whatever. I play guitar.
Yeah.
Traditional guitar.
Is what is our genre and what is our image? Well, like we said before, our genre is pretty.
It's pretty eclectic.
It's eclectic. It's a mix of genres.
Yeah.
So as of now, we don't really have one, which I think is a good
Is
thing.
the best. It should stay that way, you know. And our image is spitting.
Who are some of our musical inspirations? You.
Bale Fleck and the Flecktones.
In terms of lead guitar, I tried to emulate definitely Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead, but also kind of I try to get into more like Jimmy Page and a little bit of Matt Bellamy, that kind of stuff. I fail, but then I also, as Alex said, am really into post-rock, and so I try to do a lot of kind of, like Cyrus and Godspeed You, Black Emperor, I really like.
My inspirations musically lately has to be James Blake, because he's really come into the electronic scene, bringing together like gospel and dubstep, and it's
Surprisingly,
a lot of
really
and
good
he makes
combination.
really good
Yeah.
music out of genres you don't think would mix, which is something I'm all about. And what's really surprising is he produced this incredible album that he made in his bedroom, which is something I aspire to do. And I think he's like 22 or 23, which it means he's young. He's doing all the things that I hope that I can do later in life, and he's kind of showing that it's possible and it can be done pretty well.
And he plays
Yeah.
tennis like that. My musical inspiration, it would have to be lately a jazz drummer called Daphnis Prieto. He just won a MacArthur for jazz composing. He has a quartet in New York, and as a quartet they're amazing, but as a drummer by himself he is incredible, doing really inspiring things.
What are our goals as a band?
Well, I think any band that has their priorities right, their goals are pretty much just making amazing music that no one's heard before.
And that pleases them.
And that pleases them.
Yeah.
And of course making enough money to eat once a week.
Yeah, the top priority is to make great music and
make honest.
make honest. It's going to be music that we like,
Right.
and if other people like it,
Then we start.
that's great.
Yep.
And if other people don't like it, then
We
we
don't
start.
eat.